Hello, once again, listeners and viewers, to Rising Above Shadows of Abuse, or Raza. I'm your host, Grace Papa. Is from Sky News, dated 16th of May 2025. Shakeil Thibou was convicted of murdering Cher Maximen last month. Police say he was armed with a large knife and seeking confrontation. Shakeil Thibou was convicted of murdering Cher Maximen at the Old Bailey last month. On Friday, the 20-year-old was jailed for life with a minimum term of 29 years. Miss Maximen, 32, was with friends when she became caught up in a fight involving multiple men and died in hospital from her injuries 6 days later. Judge Philip Katz Casey said Thibou's brazen attack was carried out in front of families and the police. The defendant wore a medical face mask and blue beanie hat in the dock and looked straight ahead throughout the hearing. Judge Katz told Thibou the police were totally outnumbered as the violence spun out of control. Just watching the body-worn footage was terrifying. When violence broke out, you were quick to move to join in. You were so fired up that you didn't hesitate to use your knife. You were so brazen that it was carried out in front of the police officers. Thibou's 22-year-old brother, Shane, was convicted of assaulting PC Oliver Mott, who had tried to intervene and had been handed a 6-month jail term, suspended for 18 months. Judge Katz told him he had gone too far when he assaulted the police officer. This is a warning. If you think loyalty to your brothers enables you to break the law, you are very much mistaken, he added. Their older brother, Sheldon, 25, will be sentenced at a later date after being found guilty of violent disorder and assaulting PC Mott. Philip Evans Casey, defending, said Shakeil Thibou had expressed regret and remorse for what happened. However, the prosecution case was that the knife was brought to the scene by the defendant and that another blade was found during a search of his room. Following Thibou's conviction, Detective Chief Inspector Alice Gamampila had said Cher was a loving mother who went to Notting Hill Carnival to enjoy what should have been a carefree day. Her life was ended in the most senseless way. In stark contrast, Shakeil Thibou went to Carnival not to be part of the celebration, but to engage in violence. Why else would he have arrived armed with a large knife and seeking confrontation? The attack, which was caught on camera, happened just off the parade route on 25 August last year. Cher's relative, T.J. Jacobs, who is godmother to her daughter, said, "What happened to us has completely turned our lives upside down. Losing Cher has filled our hearts with immeasurable sadness. This senseless act of violence has cut short a life that had so much more to offer the world and was only just beginning to blossom." Speaking to Sky News, her family described her as a vivacious young woman who grew up in Bristol and then London, finding her feet working with people in music and entertainment. Cher's cousin Lawrence, who said, "It's just this energy she had. She lit up the room. If you walked into a space, you know that Cher was there. Her energy itself would fill the room. She was a very bright light." Mr. Who said the idea of the toddler witnessing her mother on the ground punctuates the sadness the family feel with anger. "The feeling of loss is overwhelming, but so is the feeling of rage," he said. She, Cher's daughter, is aware that on that day something happened to her mother. In a victim's impact statement read to the court, grandmother Cher Maximen said, "Cher was my firstborn grandchild, my friend. I held you in my arms when you were born. 32 years of loving, laughing, playing, crying, and holidaying with you. I will no longer have that pleasure ever again. I won't see you get married or having more children. The hole in my heart will never be filled." Listeners and viewers, what do you think about this newsreel? Kindly leave your comments via email address risingaboveshadowsofabuse@gmail.com. Thank you.